Hi, I'm Phil Dickinson, Vice President of International Markets at Qatar Tourism.
Phil, thanks so much for giving us your time today. It's great to have you with Breaking Travel News here at World Travel Market 2022. It's great to be back as well in person. So please tell us a little bit about what's going on in Qatar, if I even have to ask that question.
Well, yes, quite a lot, Justin. I think obviously the final preparations for one of the biggest shows on earth, with or certainly the largest sporting event. So listen, a huge amount of excitement around the World Cup. It's nearly here, and we'll be expecting around about 1.2 million visitors in Qatar, to enjoy the football spectacle. So a huge amount of effort around activations and spectator experiences, and obviously come and see and immerse yourself a little bit in a different part of the world, and try and enjoy a different culture and a different destination for a World Cup.
And so much of obviously all of the hard work and the planning is about sort of what next, and the legacy, really, I suppose, in a sense, of this fantastic sporting event that we're all very, very excited about. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, so from a Qatar tourism perspective, I mean, the World Cup preparation started 12 years ago, and there's been monumental infrastructural changes to be ready. Everything from the brand new state-of-the-art metro system to new attractions, new theme parks, new water parks, and a lot of new hotel and restaurant product as well, malls. So the 100 plus hotels. So obviously we've got a lot more tourism relevant product. So from our perspective, from tourism, obviously the World Cup is a fantastic event to springboard. I mean, 5 billion people tuning into the World Cup. But our job as tourism is to really, as you said, to leverage off of that and to build on the legacy. So we've been activating our plans before that. We've been focused on about 15 what we call priority markets. And those markets we know have the propensity to send a lot of business to the Middle East, whether it's stopover or whether it's point to point. And we've been focusing in on what we call our demand spaces, so who would be interested in Qatar. So obviously it's very much a family destination. It's very much for cultural enthusiasts. It's for active holidays. It's for romantic getaways. So we're launching a lot of our consumer campaigns to really get into that consideration space of the consumer, raise the awareness levels. So we're huge amount of work going to be done on campaigns. So we'll be doing everything from TV to print to out of home to digital to really raise the awareness levels with the consumer. And then of course we're also very focused on the travel trade, making sure we're engaged with the major tour operators and OTAs and travel agencies to make sure they're getting all of that lovely new product on the shelf. So the packages are on sale, whether we're offering it as a stopover or, as I said, whether we're offering it as a holiday destination. So we're going to continue to be. We've been very active already with the build up to the World Cup. You saw our first iteration of our, which has won awards, as you know, our Experience the World Beyond campaign. We're just about to launch our second major global marketing campaign, which is called Feel More, which we're trying to sort of touch the senses, if you like, to say to people, yes, Qatar's got this wonderful modernity and a lot of choice of fantastic resorts with the facilities, family friendly, safe, easy to get around, but we've also got a very rich culture and history and authenticity and art installations and museums and World Heritage sites and inland seas, so lots of things that people can see into. So I think we're trying to sort of encapsulate that with our campaigns to sort of go to a destination where you can feel more that you're immersing yourself in the experience of a different type of culture and a different destination with all its own qualities. So quite an exciting time.
You've taken a really innovative approach, I think, with Feel More. Tell me a little bit about how you've got to a point where you're kind of bringing Qatar to life and bringing Qatar effectively to the world, I suppose, in a sense, through those stories.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And listen, I won't. I'm more of the sales guy than the marketing guy, so I'm not going to take the credit for that. But I think between our campaigns team and our marketing agency, I think they obviously, they researched and they looked really hard at what makes Qatar a different destination from perhaps some of the similar destinations in the region. What sets us apart? And I think the thing that sort of came through time and time again was, as I said, this sort of rich cultural and art and authenticity of the destination, which they're always being true. I think true to themselves and the people and the warmth and everything else. So I think it's the fact of saying yes. As I said, we have the modernity and we have the fantastic hotels and facilities. But if you want to really sort of feel a little bit more and learn a little bit more about the history and culture of the region and of the Qatari people and of the Middle East in general, I think it's we can offer all of that through these wonderful state-of-the-art museums, the Museum of Islamic Art and the National Museum, through all of the art installations throughout Qatar. Even at the airport, you can see them in the new Grand Terminal, cruise terminal. We have an art gallery in there and a fabulous aquarium. All the east-west installations and the Zubarah Fort out in the desert. So I think all those things really sort of sets us apart a little bit in that you can have an active holiday with canoeing in the mangroves or kite surfing or jet skiing, or you can have just a relaxing holiday on the beach or by the pool, but you can also learn a little bit about the country and the culture and where sort of Qatar came from and where it is today.
And here we are at World Travel Market, London, where the world travel market comes to meet. Give us a flavour of the sort of kind of questions people are asking and also the response that you're sort of getting here in London on the stand itself.
Yeah, listen, I think people are. Look, we know there's still a job to do on the awareness. We're acutely aware of that. But I think through the fact that such a monumental event is happening with the World Cup, and through our efforts, through whether it's with the trade, or whether it's through the media, or whether it's with our campaigns, I think now people are starting to understand what Qatar's all about. So we're getting a lot of interest from the operators we know there's a lot of travel companies already sending a lot of business, whether it's beyond Qatar, so for us to capture the stopover business, or whether it's that winter sun, people looking for some winter sun from a mid-haul perspective, with obviously all these frequencies that we have through the wonderful award-winning best airline in the world, Qatar Airways. So I think it's now sort of more about activating. We did have a few challenges last year in terms of, like a lot of countries, and we were a little bit. The country was quite cautious on the COVID-19, understandably. So there was a few restrictions in terms of people being able to easily get in. But now we've dropped all the PCR and all the antigen requirements, and the necessity to get approval through a Eteraz app. So it's very easy to get in, and of course we are completely visa free for 95 countries, including big markets like the UK. So I think for us, I think we're in a good place. I think we've got fabulous product offering really good value for money. If you look at the cost of our hotels, our 5-star product, our fabulous Ritz-Carltons and St Regis's and Hilton Sour Beach Resorts and banyan trees, if you compare that with perhaps some of the other city prices around the world at the moment, and I'm not even talking about the region but other parts of the world, we've seen some huge hikes in 5-star prices in cities. I think the value for money aspect to stay in these fabulous hotels with oversized rooms and huge amounts of facilities and guaranteed sun, I think it's a great option for people. So
I mean, that sounds very, very compelling. I mean, I think last question, I guess, and again, I think very, very kind of front of mind for everybody at the moment. Obviously, alongside World Travel Market, we have COP27 running at the moment. Tell me a little bit about sort of what Qatar has done and how you're approaching sort of kind of really dealing with kind of climate and sort of and getting to zero and sustainability.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's obviously highly topical. So, I mean, firstly, the World Cup, as you know, it's going to be the greenest World Cup ever, carbon neutral. The fact that obviously all the transportation to the games is using electric buses, and electric buses is very commonplace in Qatar. And the fact that obviously people don't have to travel vast distances to, whether it's teams or spectators, don't have to have their carbon footprint travelling vast distances to get to matches as well. And obviously all the stadiums with all the solar panels and everything else. So I think Qatar's a very forward-thinking and innovative, smart cities. Everything that's being built new is trying to be built in a very sustainable and responsible way. So I think they can do that because they've got year-round sunshine, so they can obviously tap into all the solar power rather than having to use any other means. So I think as a destination, we're very committed to grow our tourism in a sustainable way. And plus, we have no great aspirations to be to really bludgeon our sort of tourism. We're not looking for any mass tourism. As I say, we're looking to get from our current 2 million to 6 million, so a 3x by 2030. But I would still say, those are relatively conservative numbers based on the amount of traffic that's coming through Qatar anyway. So we want to try and do that in a most sustainable way that we can.
Listen, thank you. I think anyone listening to this interview is going to want to kind of find out more, do more. And what's your message to someone watching this video? How do they engage with you? What's the next step they need to take?
Yeah, well, listen, from a consumer perspective, just jump onto our Visit Qatar website. There's a huge amount of information on there about giving you ideas about things to see and do, suggested itineraries, details on the hotels, the attractions, the restaurants, the places of interest. But also we are on our corporate website, which is qatartourism.com. We have a trade section in there where we have a brand portal where the travel trade can go in and get access to assets, or the media for that matter, can get access to all of our latest assets, content. And what we do, we house on there not just our own content, but we house content for content creators that are happy for us to put it on there, so people can see Qatar through that lens as well. So we have a huge amount of video content in there, imagery that people can use to help them promote the destination as well. My team throughout our markets are working really hard with the travel trade, so more workshops, more road shows, more fam trips to get obviously as many of the travel trade down to Qatar, but also aware of Qatar and confident in selling the destination. And of course, you can reach out to our media, our PR team, or our trade team, or marketing team at any time for any more information.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you so much for giving us your time. Good luck with the World Cup, and looking forward to seeing the results of all this amazing work.
Thank you, Justin. Hope to see you down there soon. Thanks for breaking news. Thank you.